It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm, Jerry Caldwell, and today's very special guest, the one and only Rebekah Black. Yay.
Hi.
Rebekah Black,
for having me.
formerly of 98.7 K-Love fame, and as far as I'm concerned, next to Ron Chapman, one of the finest talents to come out of that station. And if I'm being honest, Rebekah, you get to actually beat Ron Chapman because you made it out alive.
Just barely, though. just barely, but I am scarred with all kinds of trauma.
Yeah, we all are. That's what happens with radio
Mm-hmm,
people. And now, like us, you're on the podcast digital side of things. You are one half of the Haunted AF podcast.
Yeah.
So welcome back into the Treehouse. It's been a while since we've seen you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been like over a year, right?
It has. And we're going to celebrate your reemergence into the Treehouse. With obviously it's Halloween, so we figured what better time than to have one of our favorite haunted podcast people in the Treehouse than Halloween. So welcome back.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
I would like to start by asking everybody, do you know the origins of Michael Myers' mask from the Halloween movie franchise? Jerry, this is just a simple yes or no. Do you know the origin of Michael Myers' mask?
Yes.
Rebekah, do you know the origin of Michael Myers' mask?
Of course I do.
Trey, please say you don't.
I don't.
Thank you very much. I appreciate for going along with that a little bit there. Not everyone is familiar with the origin story of Michael Myers' mask. In fact, they're of all the famous iconic masks in Halloween movie lore. Some of them have decent stories. Some of them are just kind of like, oh, okay. But I think the Michael Myers mask one truly is one of the most original. So I'm now going to share with you. This is John Carpenter, obviously the guy that did the Halloween franchise, talking about how they acquired, how they came up with, and how they came about the Michael Myers mask.
Lee Wallace, the production designer, ran up to the mask shop on Hollywood Boulevard and bought a couple. One was a clown mask, and that's, one way to go. And the other, he got this William Shatner Star Trek mask, Captain Kirk.
Tore off the eyebrows, poofed up the hair a little so it looked demented and strange, and I spray painted it whiter than it already was. Took off the sideburns. Oh, it created a shiver right in the room, and we knew we had something special.
I guess I owe the success of Halloween to William Shatner.
The thing that I don't know, and I'm wondering if Rebekah, you or Jerry know the question, or know the answer to this question. Are we talking William Shatner Star Trek, or are we talking William Shatner TJ Hooker era?
Oh.
Because my first thought was certainly Star Trek, but then they mentioned the sideburns and the stuff, and I'm like, was there a TJ Hooker mask, and would that have been more frightening than a Captain Kirk teased hair mask? I'm not sure.
I think it's more the TJ.
You think so?
Hooker era, like the 80s Captain Kirk, as opposed to the
first Halloween was 1978, so it has to be Star Trek.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes
sense.
Okay, because TJ Hooker didn't start until the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's true.
And I was going to say, Star Trek has been on the air way longer than TJ Hooker was.
It's not that's
not true.
Actually, I think that's incorrect. So in our hearts and minds, we think Star Trek was this massive success of a series, and it was after it got off the air and hit syndication. Because if I remember this correctly, Trey, I know you know because you're a Trekkie. Wasn't the original Star Trek only on for like 2 or 3 seasons?
Yeah, I think it was like 2.5, and then and truth of the matter is, it wasn't. It was a hit, but it wasn't that big of a hit, and it wasn't until even in syndication, it wasn't until Star Wars, and then they went and they did the Star Trek movie that all of a sudden it found new life.
Star Trek,
shook.
the motionless
I had
picture.
no idea.
Yeah, so that's at least one mystery that is solved. Okay, so Captain Kirk, teased hair, all of that. All right, so that's
Are we not picturing like watching Halloween and like William Shatner is actually playing him?
Oh no, I have many times over the years, and what I keep meaning to do is what I want to do is go back and rewatch some of the Halloween movies, and just watch it through that lens of it's just a a really effed up William Shatner with family issues.
Well, like even if you think about it, the way he moves, that character Michael Myers, it's real slow and kind of deliberate, which I totally feel is a Shatner vibe anyway.
Yeah, because Shatner speaks that way, it would make sense that he would move in a similar fashion, which is still to just kind of kind of a situation.
Yeah, can you do that again for us?
Yeah. By the way, that's also my robot dance.
I love it.
I mean, you could also go the other direction and do Boston legal Shatner.
Ooh,
interesting.
As he's stabbing somebody, Denny Crane.
Well, perhaps because there's been so many Halloween movies and now technically that characters should be a 70-year-old man. Maybe that's what they did in the last couple of movies, was they updated it to the Boston legal version of him. Older, wrinklier.
Yep. That, and then they have to get the new mask, of course. Yeah. Sure. No, I think I'm on board with that. I think it makes sense. I'm wondering, so we have Trey, you think it was 3 seasons that Star Trek was on, right? I think that's
something
correct.
Like that. Yeah.
I think I've then discovered the scariest thing for Halloween 2024 is TJ Hooker was on TV in its original run for 90 episodes. That's 4 years. Wow. There were more original TJ Hooker episodes than there were Star Trek.
Wow.
It was on for 3 seasons for a total of 79 episodes.
Oh, wait. Actually, it does make sense now that I think about it, because TJ Hooker had Adrian Zmed.
Right.
That'll get you the additional 11 episodes without a doubt. Heather, was I think Heather Locklear didn't hurt, but I think it was all about Adrian Zmed. Did
Adrian Zmed catapult the success of Grease 2 into TJ Hooker? I can't remember the timeline.
I just love the fact that you used the verb catapult in relation to Grease 2.
Yes, the wildly successful Grease 2.
Which actually
no one
might
knows
be
who any of the characters are. And I think who was it, Michelle Pfeiffer in
yes.
that?
Hey, yes. You look, Grease 2 is an interesting film because you get to see a tale of 2 careers, one with Adrian Zmed and the other with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Which, by the way,
contrast.
Yeah, I'd like to point out real quick, and just as a quick aside, because it's something I've seen and I love. One of my favorite horror movies actually stars Michelle Pfeiffer, and that is What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford.
Good.
Also, in case you're wondering and didn't know, it was written by Agent Coulson from the Marvel universe. Clark.
Which one's Agent Coulson? Because I don't recall.
Did you see the first Avengers with Loki and they're battling in New York? Huh? Did you see the guy that Loki stabbed with that really big spear and he was sad about it and he wanted Captain America's autograph on his card?
Yes.
That actor is the dude that wrote What Lies Beneath.
Cool. What a weird career change. How do you go from horror to action hero?
I don't know. How do you go from radio to podcast?
Great question.
How do you go from
I will shut up now.
Sometimes it's not up to us.
Yeah. Right? You just got to pivot.
That's right.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Let's get Daniel Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration into the Treehouse. 833-COOK-DFW for your free roof inspection. The website, cookdfw.com. You guys do lots of great work on roofs, and the restoration part of the side of the business also means you're doing remodeling work underneath the roof inside the home as well. And you were telling me just recently that you, Daniel, and Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration offer lifetime warranties on all your work.
Yeah, Dan, that's something that we talked about for a while now, and we decided to go ahead and just pull the trigger on it. We've had excellent reviews. We've had excellent referrals. People really love our work when they give us a chance. And we just want to put our money where our mouth is. And, that's the best way I can always say that is just back it up. Back it up. When I was growing up and I told somebody I was going to kick their ass, you got to back it up. Well, now that I'm a grown man and we're doing professional services on people's homes and I tell them that they're never going to have a better experience, I'm backing it up. We're going to take care of your home because We want you to have that peace of mind knowing that after we left, you have the very best product left behind. Your home is safe. Your family's taken care of. And that you don't have to worry about us not coming back.
You can experience it for yourself, and you can put your money where Daniel's mouth is, and he'll honor it. As you just heard, even if he dies, he's still going to honor this stuff. I mean, that's some serious integrity and quality craftsmanship to have the confidence to be like, yeah, this is how we do things. So you give the man a call for that free roof inspection, 833-COOK-DFW, the website, cookdfw.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
That first segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Fair Lease. To save time and money on your next new vehicle, call or email Fair Lease. Just go to their website, fairlease.org. Save time and money and lease the no-hassle way from our friends at Fair Lease. Fairlease.org. That is fairlease.org. We've all heard of Sleepless in Seattle, right? Mm-hmm. But have you heard of Dateless and Sexless in Portland?
No.
Oh. This is one of those situations where I'm intrigued to see, Trey, I know you love a good crazy woman. I just want to see on which side you fall. Attracted or scared? Okay. All right, here we go. A 33-year-old virgin who has never been on a date has explained why she is not actively searching for love. Her name is Lauren Harkins. She is from Portland, Maine, not Oregon. She's from Maine. And she's opened up about her view on relationships and how they're not necessary for a happy life. For Lauren, it began in high school when many of her friends were feeling love for the first time. As well as being uninterested, she was also dealing with more serious matters after her father, who passed away in 2006 at the age of 46. Her decision to stay a virgin has been a conscious one, Lauren says, as she's been very content on her own all these years. She said the 20s were such a confusing time. Everyone's figuring out careers, navigating all this stuff. It just wasn't something I wanted. When I looked around, there was no one who I was friends with and in a relationship whose life I wanted to emulate, and I was quite happy to just do my own thing. I've never looked to others as a marker for how my life is going to play out, but also instead chosen to follow my own intuition on what is best for me at any given time. As well as being an only child, Lauren also has no real desire to get married or have kids. Okay. However, as she's gotten older, she says she feels ready for a partner if the right person comes along. Otherwise, she's very happy being on her own. Trey, I'm going to do a quick check-in with you. How are you feeling so far about young Lauren? Interested or scared?
Scared.
Oh, scared already. Okay. What? I'm kind of surprised. I'm going to show you a photo now of the 33-year-old dateless virgin Lauren. Okay, there she is. All right.
Oh, very nice.
Ooh, she's cute.
Yeah, she's a cute girl.
Yeah.
No, she's on social media and things, so she's not like a complete hermit. So there you go. That's what she looks like. Now back to her story. She says, I would want someone who is way more established than I am. Trey, I don't know why you're scared. She's describing you. You're not married. I don't think you want kids either. She's younger than you. She's pretty. She's got a twinge of crazy about her. Still no?
Nope.
You know I'm setting you up. That's why you're saying no. Otherwise, you'd be intrigued.
The 33-year-old virgin is cast a lot of. Big giant red flags.
Oh, come on. Say what you really want to say.
I believe him. I think he's absolutely terrified.
I do. I agree.
Crazy.
And I understand his red flag situation, but I think there's more to this story for Trey.
Say it again, Trey. How it is you truly feel about young Lauren?
She's clearly being crazy. Like, she's attractive. And you for 33 years, there's something else.
Interesting. Because I think I know where you're coming from, Rebekah. There's a stereotype among a lot of men, which is, I'd be happy to take her flower or pop that cherry. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to tell you something. There's three of us. There's three guys in here right now, and we're all shaking our heads going, nope, we don't want none of that cherry baby. Because
y'all are gonna think I'm crazy because I understand where she's coming from.
No,
Like-
that I kind of get. Her mentality and her
Yes.
thinking, I get. She has self-esteem. God bless her.
Yes, she's
And,
independent. Oh my God. Heaven forbid she has to get married and have kids. Hell no. She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
I
now
don't care
that-
about
that-
I don't care about any of that, but she could at least get laid. Like she couldn't keep a boyfriend long enough to
No.
get some
You did not just go there. Who's to say that she hasn't had a boyfriend long enough and that maybe she just made this decision for herself?
See, I'm trying to figure this part out of the story because she says she is a virgin, and it's not one of those born again things. That, as far as
Right.
the research I've done, and she says she's never even been on a date. So yeah, so that's why I said dateless and sexless in Portland, because I don't think she's ever been on a date.
I'd actually be more comfortable if it was a religious reason that she was still a virgin. This is just
I'm going to read you this next sentence and see if this sheds a little more light on it for you. Okay. She says, I would want someone who is way more established than I am. I would only want to be with someone who is better than me in every way. I think that sheds the light on her true situation, is because maybe she has impossibly high standards.
I was going to say, yeah, she seems a little picky if she needs somebody that's better than her. That's impossible. Like, you're never going to find somebody that's better than you. You're going to find somebody that's comparable to you.
Yeah.
And then really it's all about just who can we live together, like,
long term.
Yeah.
And if I'm the one that has to be the character compass in this duo, we are screwed.
Yeah, I think for like Trey, his character compass, or the one that he's looking for, is constantly spinning.
Yeah.
But within reason, because it's in a dial. This is outside the dial for Trey. That's why I think, Trey, you're saying that this is too much crazy for you.
Well, and also the deal of she wants someone established. What exactly does that mean? It sounds like she wants someone older and wealthy.
It sounds to me, and this is me playing armchair psychologist, which is freakishly dangerous, because of the loss of her father. She's trying to find someone to be her daddy.
I totally thought the same thing. Once I heard the word established, that means an older gentleman that has maybe some money and that can comfort her, like with her daddy issues since he passed away, right?
I can go to the lodge and find 10 of these.
And they're not going to be so hung up.
And I don't have to worry about their V card.
Now, keep in mind all the things I've told you about this young lady named Lauren, but she goes on to say that she does want to live life to the fullest. She says she's goal-oriented, emotionally independent. She just loves her freedom and wants to live life to the fullest. And she also says, I love adventures and trying new things. That's the other thing to me. Whenever I hear someone say, I love trying new things, to me, that means two things. It's either food or sex, sometimes both.
Well, so then I think she is open to the possibility of it happening one day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was kind of like her, and I was like, I didn't want to date people. I didn't want a boyfriend. I didn't like any of that kind of stuff. And then it's a miracle I'm actually married, because it sort of all fell into my lap when I wasn't looking for it.
Oh, did he work at the lodge too?
I did, yes.
No, he fell into your lap.
My stripper song is Cats in the Cradle, because I like to get those daddy guys. Look at Trey. His face. You love that.
He's soaking it in.
He is. But I do think that maybe I don't think it's completely off the table for her. I think maybe if she's open to it, if it just sort of crosses her path, if you will.
Well, I think the only way it's going to cross her path is if someone digs up her dad and he starts walking the earth again.
I'm not saying you're wrong there. Not.
Again, this is the danger of me playing armchair psychologist. Just a little bit more about Lauren, the former correctional law enforcement worker. See, this girl is full of surprises.
She's an onion.
She spends a lot of her time traveling, and she added recently, I've been to Morocco, Peru, Cayman Islands, Bahamas, France, Germany, and the Netherlands. I love immersing myself in new cultures, as well as traveling and focusing on her social media. She's also been supported by her late father's trust fund.
Oh.
So, I mean, she's got a work ethic. She has no problem working in a prison, but at the same time, she also knows how to take advantage of daddy's money, even though he's long gone.
Might be jealous of her lifestyle choices at this point. Like, she's got money. She can travel, do whatever she wants. She's not held down by any kind of man, marriage, children, whatever. That sounds delightful on paper.
Yeah, and as far as we know, she has no chasing her.
She just needs to go get some Strange.
I'm. You know what though? I'm with Rebekah on this. I think she's actually living her best life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think everybody is sexually driven.
She is
like
not.
we make it out to be in this world. Like every TV show, it's like everybody's sex crazed. Every movie, everybody's sex crazed. And I don't think that's the reality of things. I think there are just people out there who are like, you know what, I'm good.
But here's the problem with this one is, all right, I'll go down that path. So you start dating her. Great. Finally get married, whatever, lay it on her. Then she goes, oh my God, what have I been missing? And she's off to,
you were I get it. Yeah.
In every country.
You were the gateway.
Yeah.
Like, what if she's like asexual and doesn't know it?
See, that's where I'm going because everything she's describing sounds exactly like my high school journalism teacher.
Like she's just either it's like if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, whatever. Like she doesn't seem to be starved for that specific need. So I think that maybe it might be an asexual type situation.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there, Rebekah, because she's treating sex the way that other people might treat whether or not the pizza place has any pepperoni left.
Right.
Well, it does not sound like a fun relationship.
But again, like she doesn't miss it though. You know what I'm saying? Because she doesn't know any different. So she can't miss anything. Does that make sense?
According to Trey, it's because she hasn't had that good pepperoni yet.
Okay, hold on. Here, let's take the scenario just a tiny further. Let's say she does get that good pepperoni, okay? And she still feels the same about it.
Then maybe she should try the fish.
Wow.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Is that sexist? It felt a little sexist, Rebekah. You can tell me.
Just a little bit.
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge.
Let's get Jacqueline from Brooks Plumbing into the Treehouse now. For any and all of your plumbing wants and needs, give her and all of them there a call. 214-368-3838. The website, brooksplumbingtexas.com. When I had my house in Dallas, Jacqueline, you came out a few times to help us with some issues, and your response time was phenomenal. And it wasn't just because it was me. It was because that's the kind of company you run. You go out of your way trying to help every client and try to get there as soon as you can.
Well, I mean, the reality of it is that plumbing is unfortunately a need and not so much a want. Yes, you can want to remodel the bathroom and that's not pressing, but typically when it comes to service or leak investigations, et cetera, if you've got a stoppage on the main line and you don't know and you keep putting liquid or, waste into the drains, if it has nowhere to go, it will come back in the house. And at that point in time, it's no longer a want, it's a need. And that sort of thing can't wait. When you have those emergencies, you have got to figure out how to manage the crew so that you can have the best response time.
That's right. And they'll show up and they'll do it quickly. Call Jacqueline from Brooks Plumbing for any and all of those plumbing wants and needs. 214-368-3838. And again, that website, brooksplumbingtexas.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
That previous segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. For your free roof inspection and to get yourself on the Cook list, call Daniel Cook at 833-COOK-DFW. That's 833-COOK-DFW. The website, cookdfw.com. All right, we kept talking about Lauren, the 33-year-old sexless, dateless in Portland, Maine. And the more you thought about it, Rebekah, the more you're kind of on board with the lifestyle.
Yeah, I think this is a great move, and I'm tempted to do it myself. I'm leave my husband, go to France, eat a croissant alone. I don't think it gets more delightful than that.
Meanwhile, Trey, you're doubling down on you think that it all could go sideways on her.
Yeah, I mean, it the fact you hadn't even been on a date, yeah, that's fine. If she's asexual, then why is she even looking to muddle the waters, and just say, hey, I'm just looking for a platonic friend to grow old with. Okay, cool, fine.
Yeah.
Then boundaries are set.
Sure.
And you know what? Because she
but-
hasn't had those experiences yet, maybe she doesn't know what she actually wants.
Well, but that's the other thing is, if she hadn't even been on a date, I mean, has she even been intimate with somebody, even partly? Has someone ever gotten to third base? I mean, do we even know? Huh?
Yeah.
I say no on that. And I think if she does get all of that she's going to be disappointed. I don't think she's going to be interested in any of this, even if she gets it.
Yeah, because the standard male mind is, well, after me, she'll want it all the time. Well, the reality of it is the possibility exists that you go in as cock of the walk and you just completely leave her utterly disappointed and deflated, but not in a good way. And now you've just solidified the fact that the lifestyle she's chosen is for the best, because if no. Yeah.
Or like I said, or she gets it once and she's like, oh my gosh, I could have tried all these different things. And then she's on a completely different mission.
You know what? Everybody's journey is different. Not everybody.
Who are we to judge?
Yeah, media people. That's who.
I know, right?
We love judging. It's why we're here.
Yep.
And and at the end of the day, everybody eats and prays and loves differently.
Sure.
And she's doing her own thing. Speaking of doing her own thing, Rebekah from the Haunted AF podcast. One half, the other half is, of course, Julie. You guys, you were on hiatus for a little while. Now you're back in full swing doing Haunted AF podcast episodes. So it's good timing because it's Halloween. Is there a particular story from an episode that might stand out to you that might say, yeah, this one really freaked me out? Because on your show, that's what you do. You share real ghost stories on your show.
Right. There's a gajillion stories that we've told that really freaked me out. But the most recent one actually had to do with a ping pong ball. And I know
this has nothing to do with Lauren then.
No, not that.
South Park?
I know what you're thinking about, guys. Get your brains out of the gutter.
Sorry, Rebekah.
No, it's just Winona Ryder's birthday.
No, well, we had this one woman. This is maybe 2 episodes ago. Her name is Denise, and she called in and left us a laundry list of things that have been going on at her house. In addition to what she thought were her kids running up and down the hallways at night, which they weren't. Dad went to check on them and they were all snug as a bug in their beds. She was also seeing like shadows darting across rooms, thinking it was her kids, and then she'd call their names and their voice would be coming from the other side of the house. They also would hear disembodied voices of their girls around the house as well. But what really got us is the ping pong ball. And she's like, we don't have a ping pong table. We don't have ping pong balls. So there's absolutely no reason why a ping pong ball would be in our house. But it's the middle of the night, and I guess they hear some kind of ruckus. But she said that you could hear the bouncing ping pong ball, like all the way down the hall and down the stairs. And so I guess it doesn't really sound all that freaky, does it? Now that I'm trying to repeat it.
No, it is a freaky thing. It's just you have to pause, put yourself in that situation and think, okay, I'm hearing weird noises, and the noises I think that they are not.
Right. Like she's literally hearing it and she's thinking to herself, she's like, that sounds like a ping pong ball. But she's like, why on earth would we have a ping pong ball in our house? But like all this other stuff had been going on. So she makes her husband go and check it out. And sure enough, there's a soul ping pong ball at the bottom of the stairs, just sitting there, like kind of like, hey, what's up? How did it get there? How did it, you know what I'm saying? This is a terrible story. Let me find a different one.
No. This is a good story because I think we're actually unraveling this mystery. Did the ping pong ball say Yellow Rose on it? Platinum Club, perhaps?
It might have. I don't know.
So I think what now
that you say
here,
that, hold on. She did say that her husband was like, do you smell perfume on me? And we jokingly were like, oh, he's been to the strip club. But he swears he hadn't been.
That's nailed it. Yes.
now that I'm pulling it all together. Your husband,
But it's still a scary story because any husband that's lived this is truly terrified.
Yes, he has no idea what's in store for him after.
Well, that's part 2. That's going to be really, really up.
I hope she finds out and then lets us know.
And then and then you can have a nice interview from prison situation. Oh God, that's fantastic.
I'm the worst at retelling other people's stories because I forget parts. I leave out details. I'm sure there was something in there that was truly horrifying that I've completely forgotten because I'm old and my brain doesn't work very well.
You know what? I wish I could argue that point with you, but I'm in the same boat. I forget stuff left and right. I find myself when I'm doom scrolling at night, finding things that will just confirm my state of mind. Like last night, I'm not making this up. Last night, I'm doom scrolling Instagram, and there was one of those self-help therapy accounts that said, you're in a, trauma mode or some type of bodily state that you're in an emergency state, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the characteristics of it are poor memory. I'm like, I have that.
Same. Anytime I see a scroll of like the perimenopause stuff or the ADHD stuff, I'm like, I have that. I'm screwed.
It really is sad how WebMD has now leapt from WebMD onto just straight up social media into your feed. And then of course, when you look at it or you engage with it at all, now that's all you get. So now, like we all learned back in the day, stop going to WebMD because you'll end up with all the deadly diseases. Now it's the same way on Instagram. Now I'm not only in the middle of a trauma situation from my childhood, but I've also got new ways to pop my back.
Right.
Because there's physical therapy stuff on there that it wants me to see.
That's
also there's
bad.
A weird protein bar that they keep showing me on Instagram called David, and I don't feel like eating a protein bar that's just called David.
I don't like that at all. That's people. You're eating people in that. Like that's some cannibalism stuff. It has to be. Who would name it David?
I'm going to show this to you. So I think I took a photo of it, so you know I'm not making this up. And now you're all going to be hit with the same ad. You watch. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick.
Google is always listening.
Yeah, for sure.
It's Google. It's all the things. Where did David go? Hang on.
I'm like, it'll be in my Sam's cart later today.
Right.
So I did the screenshot, but I left all the stuff above and below it so you can see that it's from my feed. This was Saturday at like 9:45. 28 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, 150 calories. David. Gold wrapper.
Wow.
It says David on it. A protein bar named David.
I don't.
That looks like an ad from the 70s.
It also looks like a condom.
Yeah, another reason why I don't want David.
Right. I was like, nobody wants David anymore.
No, right. Can you imagine if your spouse is going inside while you're pumping gas and you say, "Hey, will you grab me some David in there?"
A handful of David, please.
Yes. And if they have 2 of them,
it's going to be a wild night.
What kind of content are you doing these days on OnlyDans?
Subscribe and you'll know.
Oh yeah, like and follow, please.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you thought 2024 couldn't get any scarier, you were wrong. Back for its 36th year, Hangman's House of Horrors is the best haunted house experience in DFW. Hangman's House of Horrors isn't just an award-winning haunted house. They have something for everyone, including an interactive art exhibit called The Beauty of Horror that would make even Vincent van Gogh cry and cut his other ear off. And you can test your zombie apocalypse skills in their Outbreak exhibit. Hangman's House of Horrors is located at 4400 Blue Mound Road in Fort Worth and is open every weekend through November 2nd. For more information and to buy tickets starting at just $39, visit hangmans.com. That's hangmans.com.
Do it. You're listening to The Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Brooks Plumbing. For any and all of your plumbing wants and needs, call Jacqueline at Brooks Plumbing, 214-368-3838. That's 214-368-3838. The website, brooksplumbingtexas.com. That is brooksplumbingtexas.com. Back in the Treehouse now with Rebekah Black from Haunted AF, the podcast. I'm assuming I know the answer to this, but I'm going to pretend I don't. Rebekah, where can we find the Haunted AF podcast?
Oh, literally anywhere you listen to podcasts. So like Apple, Spotify, wherever. We also have a YouTube channel. So if you want to actually see our faces while we talk about these stories, you can absolutely do that as well. And then we have a website, hauntedaf.com.
Perfect. Hauntedaf.com. And also give them a follow on the socials, the social media.
Yes,
channels.
please.
It's at Haunted AF.
That's a good question. They're different on on Facebook. So I think it's at Haunted AF Pod.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just search Haunted AF or Haunted AF Pod. They'll pop up. Yeah. Give them a search. Give them a follow. Give them a listen. Rebekah from the Haunted AF.
I promise it's so much better than the story I just told.
I think it was a good story. It was just terrifying in a different way.
No, I was like, you guys saved it. I was like, I'm not telling the story right. I am not doing it justice. Go listen to the episode where Denise, who it happened to, tells it so much better.
I just keep thinking about how, since you're joining us via video remotely, that half of your screen behind you is green, and
Yes.
I can't wait to have fun with that later.
Oh, please do. please put hold on this side. Please put a ping pong ball right here.
All right. One of the other reasons that it's great to have you here on a very special episode inside the Treehouse, because it is Halloween, is because over the last week, we've been playing a game inside the Treehouse called Versus. We've done this game for a while now. I'll ask the guys, okay, would you rather do this or do that? Eat this or eat that? And that's Treehouse Versus. But over the last week, we've been doing the Halloween version called Spooky Versus.
Ooh.
And now it is your turn, Rebekah, to play Spooky Versus inside the Treehouse podcast. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to get you caught up on all the previous Spooky Versus scenarios, including the one we started with. So, Rebekah Black from the Haunted AF podcast, if you were in the middle of a darkly lit stairwell, wanting to escape, and up the stairs was Michael Myers, or down the stairs is Jason Voorhees, are you going upstairs to attempt your escape or downstairs?
I am definitely going upstairs because Michael Myers is the slowest villain in history. I think I could outrun him very easily.
I think also in the Halloween films that I've seen, I don't know if anyone's ever tried shin kicking him and then running.
Right?
Because he's already walking extremely slowly. And if you give a good shot right to the shin, no human can walk after that, even that guy.
Right. And if we're referring to the most recent of the Halloween movies, I think I said this earlier when we were talking about his mask, but he's got to be in his 70s now.
Yeah.
And I think Jamie Lee Curtis is in her 70s. I'm like, I can definitely outrun a 70-year-old.
Yeah, it's weird because I do want to see those new Halloween movies, but I also know that it's just going to be like the nursing home edition. But I'm still curious.
Oh, the last one was actually really good.
And I think that's why I want to, because I heard good things about them.
Yeah, they basically reboot the series.
All right, let's go to the next Spooky Versus inside the Treehouse. Darkly lit stairwell. You want to escape. Your options are downstairs against Samara Morgan from The Ring, or upstairs against a spider-crawling Regan McNeil from The Exorcist. Are you going upstairs or downstairs?
Well, this one I don't think it matters because they're both children. You can drop kick a kid really easily. I mean, come on. I have 15 total nieces and nephews. I could take any one of them today. Not a problem. So either one is fine for me on this.
And or you could go Trey's route, which was he wanted to go upstairs because he said it just reminded him of most of his third dates. All right, next one. Here we go. Upstairs through Ghostface from Scream, or downstairs against Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I think Leatherface is the real deal, so I'm going to avoid him at all costs. I'm going to go upstairs with the Scream. What is his name? Ghostface?
Ghostface, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go with him. I think at some point we might talk a little and we'd start vibing, and I think we might be friends.
Interesting how you went that direction, because I used the same thinking that he might be a little emo, the way that most of the Scream killers were, and I feel like I could beat up an emo kid.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, versus Leatherface, who's obviously freakish and a chainsaw, and I'd rather be killed by a knife than a chainsaw. If we're being honest.
Same.
If I lose,
I feel like Leatherface is going to take it real slow with you.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have downstairs, Hannibal Lecter, or upstairs, Jigsaw, who's technically the bad guy is John Kramer, but in this scenario, showing you a photo, I use Jigsaw's creepy little doll. But I think they're fairly. I'm trying to get scary villains that are pretty evenly matched. And here you have two guys. They're human in nature, no superpowers, nothing like that. They're just really demented individuals. So which one are you going to make your great escape to?
I'm surprised you think these two are evenly matched. I don't.
How
I think
so?
because you've got Hannibal Lecter, he kills his victims and then eats them and puts their skin on. So like I'll already be dead, and at that point I don't care what he does with my body.
You clearly did not read or watch Hannibal.
I did. Oh no, I haven't seen Hannibal.
Yeah, where he slices the guy's skull open and is dissecting his brain and frying it while he's still alive,
and then he feeds it to him.
Mm-hmm.
But keep in mind,
Ray Liotta, no less.
But keep in mind, Ray Liotta, the actor that's portraying that character in the film, didn't seem to mind. So clearly, Hannibal Lecter has a decent bedside manner.
Right? I mean, it's like a lobotomy situation.
Exactly.
I probably can't feel anything at that point. Whereas other dude is all about some torture and some not good torture. I don't want glass in my eyes, and I don't want to have to saw off my own leg. So I'm going to go with Hannibal Lecter on this.
Yeah, I think I would too, but I'm hoping that I would wait long enough to make a decision to where the puppet on the tricycle would fall down the stairs and I can just walk past him. But we'll see. Next up, Pennywise the Clown or Freddy Krueger? Pennywise the Clown is downstairs. Freddy Krueger is upstairs.
I'm going upstairs with Freddy because it's all in my dreams. And I know that if I fall in my dreams, I will wake up immediately because I always do. So it's easy. I just throw myself over a building. Wake up. I'm good.
Stick your hand in the fire. I think that's how one of the people woke up in one of the Freddy movies. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now for today, brand new. This is for all of us. You're in a darkly lit stairwell and you want to make a grand escape. Upstairs is Chucky. Downstairs is Annabelle. Two terrifying dolls. Upstairs is Chucky. Downstairs is Annabelle. Jerry, let's start with you. Are you going downstairs against the demon-possessed doll Annabelle or demon-possessed doll Chucky?
Man, that is a tough one.
That's the whole idea.
You know what? I think I'm going downstairs. I'm going to face off against Annabelle.
Okay. And Rebekah, how about you?
I too am going to go downstairs and face off against Annabelle. And my reasoning is because you don't play with 80s movies. 80s horror movies, they're legit. And I'm like, Chucky always keeps coming back. Plus, he's plastic. So even if you cut him up or melt him, he can always come back together.
That's interesting. I like the 80s angle. You're right. The
Right.
80s slasher flicks were different than the 21st century scary stuff. Trey, what about you?
I too will go downstairs against Annabelle because in Chucky, you have a combination of two frightening, scary things, which is, obviously the possessed doll, but he's a ginger too. So it's a ginger demon.
I will say the ginger thing didn't cross my mind.
But at least maybe it just doubles down on your decision.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, God.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
By the way, Jerry, I think we have the title for this episode, Ginger Demon.
Ginger Demon.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you would like to advertise right here inside the Treehouse, you can do that. Just shoot us an email, treehouseonair@gmail.com. That's treehouseonair@gmail.com. We have ad slots available to you as long as you pass our very strict standards of quality here inside the Treehouse. It sounds sarcastic, but I'm mostly serious. We do have standards.
It really does.
It really, yeah. You can go to treehouseonair.com, obviously, or just shoot us an email, treehouseonair@gmail.com. Back inside the Treehouse, joined by Rebekah Black from Haunted AF Podcast. I'm going to give you a chance at Scary Story Salvation soon. But,
bless you.
But first, we need to do some Halloween birthdays because today is Thursday, October 31st, 2024. Birthdays today. One of the Smith kids, Willow Smith, is 24. She plays Caitlin on Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionist. She's also Cindy on The Walking Dead. Sydney Park is 27. She plays Shuri in the Black Panther movies in the Marvel Universe, which, if you know, that also makes her the new Black Panther. Letitia Wright is 31 today. Also, Eddie K. Thomas is 44. If you watch the TV show Scorpion, he played Toby. Most of us know him best as Finch from American Pie. Now, we're all in that American Pie age where we all saw, I think we were all in kind of high school around that age. So I think we all had people we kind of knew that reminded us of some of those characters in American Pie. Jerry, to me, you would be but you'd be the ones, humping the pie. But speaking of Finch from American Pie, I had a friend of mine in high school that reminded me exactly of Finch. His name was Jeff, and he was our Finch in our group. So anyway, that actor, Eddie K. Thomas, he is 44 today. Did you guys have any in your friends group in high school, anyone that reminded you of American Pie characters? Did any of you have a Stifler friend?
No. That would require friends in high school.
Oh. So you were the band camp girl.
Probably. I wasn't in band either, so I wasn't even cool enough to be in that.
Oh,
we did have a Stifler, but we also had I don't have a beeper. We also had S-Break.
S-Break. Was that one of the American Pie characters?
Yeah. He was the kid that had to go home to poop because he was poop shy in public.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking the main group, but yeah, that's really specific.
The one that got to make out with Jennifer Cooley.
Okay. Gotcha. And Trey, did you I could see you being the lacrosse player in American Pie.
Maybe.
I'm brain farting on his name, but
yeah, I'm
something.
Chris, yeah, and I know he went to TCU. He was at TCU at the same time. I had friends of mine at TCU.
I had one guy that was, I can't remember the character's name that was screwed the apple pie.
Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of fraternity brother, kind of like that.
Wait, are you saying you would be Jim? Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like...
No, you said you had a fraternity brother that was like Jim.
Yeah.
I thought we were about to be into like confession zone. I'm like, hey, I'm here for that.
Yeah, so am I.
Tell me all about your pie, Trey.
Yeah, we're about to do a double episode. I'm about to send you some weird stuff from Amazon and DoorDash. Other birthdays today. She plays Annie Walker on Covert Affairs. Piper Perabo was 48, but I think she got her big break in the little film Coyote Ugly.
Yeah.
The Dancing Bartenders. Other birthdays today. Lynn Bergeron is 54. We all know her as one of the members of Ace of Base. I will freely admit, 7th and 8th grade, I enjoyed some Ace of Base. Sorry.
I had high hopes for them for being the next ABBA, and they just fizzled out.
Yeah.
You know why? Probably because they refused the glitter. The glitter might have saved them. Or the leather. Maybe they should have gone the Grease 2 route.
Yeah.
Also, not to be left out, Carrollton, Texas's own Vanilla Ice is 57 today. Happy birthday.
Wow. 57?
57.
Oh, I'm so old.
Not only are we old, but he's so old to where he went from suburban white rapper pretending he's from Miami to wannabe gangster rapper to rock rapper to home flipper.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting career.
It's a hell of an arc that he's lived.
And yet Eminem should thank him.
Yeah, I mean it's
he paved a way.
I'm going to hate myself in the morning for saying this, but he didn't pave the way. He broke the ice.
Oh, well
and
done,
Dan,
sir.
Where's my K-Love jingle?
I'll follow you. I'll
Well
follow that one up.
done.
And then there was snow.
Wow. Not the weather phenomenon, but
Right.
The Canadian rapper.
Yeah, with that one song.
Yeah, Informer.
Informer. I know no other words to that, by the way.
No one does.
Nobody does.
I lick your boom boom down.
Oh, that's not how I know the lyrics.
Movies Radio 98.7 K-Love.
Hey, look what I dug
Ooh,
up.
that's way back. That was way back.
Yeah, that's an old Chapman era.
Yeah,
K-Love
that was
jingle.
that was before I was even born, probably.
That was before any of us were born. And just a couple more birthdays today that are Halloween birthdays. We've got from the Beastie Boys, Adam Horovitz. If you think Vanilla Ice made you feel old, Adam Horovitz is going to make you feel old as well. He's 58 today.
Oof.
Rob Schneider, from comedy, from Adam Sandler films, and from alt-right websites. He is 61 today. Dermot Mulroney, who's got one of the great names in Hollywood. He is 61 today. He is from My Best Friend's Wedding with Julia Roberts. He was in The Wedding Date with Deborah Messing. He was the dad in Insidious 3. So a Halloween tie-in there.
Nice.
And I will fully admit, I have not seen most of the newer Halloween films, like the Insidious movies. I have not seen Annabelle, but I will admit freely, and I've told the guys in the Treehouse this enough, that I've seen most of the Jason Friday the 13th films, including the one where he goes to space.
Oh, but hey, the space one, don't knock it, man.
Yes.
Oh, I don't knock it. I love it. Deep in my
It's kinda
heart.
great.
It's one of those movies that's so bad that it
Yes.
crosses the bad threshold
Yes.
into I love it.
Yes, and I'm like, I'm here for anything that's like that. The worst horror movies in existence are some of the greatest.
Yes. Because you get some of the most fun and creative kills.
Mhm.
Because I'll go through my Halloween searches, this time of year, and I've done it over the last couple of days. Some of my favorite kills from Jason are in the later installments. Like in Jason 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. He lets this one kid punch him a bunch of times because he's a boxer. And he gets his hopes up, but he can't knock Jason out. And then he eventually just says, because he's got bloody knuckles and he's tired, all right, you take your best shot. And Jason grabs him by his jersey like he's a hockey player, uppercuts his head off the roof, down the fire escape, and into a waiting dumpster. Now, that was from part 8. But from Jason 10, where he goes to space, he starts out freezing a chick's face and smashes it on the corner of a table.
That is hands down the best.
That is freakishly awesome, and that set the tone. And then, even though it was a hologram, he took the hologram girl, who's of course naked, and another hologram girl who is naked, and they're both doing drugs. And of course, they say it because it's a hologram. They're trying to distract Jason so they can make an escape. And they both crawl into sleeping bags, and he zips them up in the sleeping bag. He grabs one and kills them by hitting each other with the girls in the sleeping bag. Or as very misogynistic way of putting it is, he killed one bitch with another bitch.
Yes,
it's hologram murder. Yeah,
love it.
And then one of my other ones, I think this was in Freddy versus Jason. He just folded a dude up in a mattress.
Yeah.
Backwards. I mean, I think that was after he stabbed him through the cushion with the machete. It's like, really, now you're just kind of running up the score. He's kind of a dick.
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Freddy versus Jason?
Oh, yeah.
Did you go in? I could see you, Jerry, going in with a foam finger for Freddy or Jay. Like whose team were you on? Who were you cheering for in that one?
Oh, Freddy.
Freddy?
Yeah. Freddy's my dude.
I like Freddy too. I'm a big fan of Freddy.
Is it because he's got such a sparkling and fun personality?
He really does.
He does kind of remind you of morning radio.
And he's the best dressed of any of the psycho killers.
Right? I would wear that sweater on a regular Wednesday.
Right. And that fedora?
Yeah.
That's slick, man.
Good looking dude. Suave.
Yeah, I think I'm onto something here. Like Freddie might have been a morning show DJ because he was on the radio because he was a burn victim, and you don't want to sleep around him.
Even he would disavow the segment.
With one middle finger blade.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Yeah, Freddie would hate birthdays because no one ever gave him a birthday cake.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Be sure to check us out on social media as well. It's at Treehouse on Air. It is at Treehouse on Air. Back inside the Treehouse with Rebekah Black from Haunted AF Podcast that you can also find on social media. Just search Haunted AF Pod, Haunted AF Podcast. Or you also search for Rebekah Black, Rebekah with a K, because she's cool. All right. So you seem to be down on yourself, Rebekah. I thought the scary ping pong story was good. So here's opportunity number 2. If you can share with us, it doesn't even have to be the full story if you don't want it to be, but just a little snippet of one of your more memorable recent haunted stories from Haunted AF.
We had a lady who was, I guess, you know how when you're asleep and you let your feet kind of hang out from under the covers sometimes?
Yep. Yeah. The
Okay.
temperature regulator. Mhm.
Yeah, right. I agree with you, but like a lot of people won't do it for fear that something is going to get them in the middle of the night and like pull them off the bed or whatever.
Mhm.
So there was an incident with a woman where she had some sort of a ghost tickle on her toes. Like a little, you don't like that? That's
No, I do it. No, I know.
Wow.
I don't. I've experienced that.
No. Okay. Well, I'm going to need to know that story right now.
Well, I think it's just because my foot fell asleep. Or it could have been a ghost with a feather. I don't know.
Hold on. There is a complete difference between feet falling asleep feel, that is a tingle, and a tickle where somebody's gone. "Rrrt." That's different feeling.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, when you make the noise like that, I can feel it differently. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm with you. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. So ghost tickles are always kind of creepy. I always love the ones where anybody's getting touched or poked or anything like that. Oddly enough, we have a lot of like ghosts like to show up during those intimate moments. Like during sexy time, we had one lady, this is way back like in season 1, where as soon as her and her husband would turn out the lights and, get ready to go to town or whatever, that ghost would flip the lights on in the middle of their action. And they would have to like reset and start over, I guess.
Back to places.
Right. Like, and scene. Let's do it again, guys. But I
don't know. Would you, if you're in that situation, would you prefer the lights turning on their own, or do you want the tickle?
Well, I think if you're in sexy time, tickle, right?
I would think so.
That's only going to add to the ambiance that you already got going on,
I
right?
think it depends where that tickle is.
It's not, and actually, it's not necessarily where the tickle is. It's just whether or not you can see who's doing the tickling.
True.
It's a little from column A, a little from column B.
Right. Yeah.
But I guess I'll have to tell you guys really quickly one of my favorite stories that we've ever had. And this one, we talked to the lady who it happened to, and she made like national news, and she had a haunted Elsa doll, like, from Frozen.
Oh my God.
Like it was one of her kids' toys and it talked, and her kids had marked all over its face with a marker. So one day she's like, clearly they don't want to play with it anymore. Let's throw it out. Puts it in the trash, goes off with the garbage man. And 2 weeks later, they come back from vacation and she's looking for the stockings to put up for Christmas. And she opens like one of those cabinets that you have at the foot of the bed, where all the stocking stuff goes. And when she pops it open, pulls out a couple of things, and that haunted Elsa doll was inside the cabinet. Right?
Yikes.
So, of course, Julie and I are like, okay, but is it like your husband playing a prank on you or something? And she's like, we got into an argument about it. Both of us are swearing up and down that neither one of us has touched this doll, all that good stuff. So she's like, just to test it out, they're going to do it again. They double wrap it, put it in the trash, hand walk it to the curb, watch the garbage man take it off and away. And a big storm had hit in Houston. So they had lost power and all that kind of stuff. And when they came back home to assess the damage, guess what? Elsa, the one with the marked up face, is sitting on their back porch, just hanging out. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, I think it's time to sell the house.
I will say she did finally end up sending it off to like one of her comedian friends who ended up putting it on the bumper of his Jeep, which I don't necessarily think is a great idea because now your Jeep might be haunted.
Yeah.
But then she followed up with us like a year or so later, and her son had a imaginary friend named Luca that he would talk to, and they would catch creepy voices happening in the house. And they were like, okay, well, we don't like the fact that he's got a friend named Luca. Like, what's that about? And then she started getting Snapchats in the middle of the night, pictures on her phone of the back of her son's head.
That.
Yeah. Right?
Mm-mm.
Right?
That
Like creepy voices,
Mm-mm.
imaginary friend named Luca, and then why on earth is she getting Snapchats at like 2 a.m. of the back of her head of her son's head while he's sleeping?
See, this is why we don't do a haunted show. I can't handle this. That is okay. No, that's I think that's too freaky for me. I didn't realize how easily scared I got until you, Rebecca.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love you though.
I don't think I love you back. I don't really know right now. Check in with me tomorrow. Well, now I have another reason not to be on Snapchat. It just sounds to me like it's a good warning to be, picky about your social platforms.
Yeah, I agree. It's haunted.
Let's go back to giggles and things like laughter and fun. Let's do that. I'm tired of Halloween. The problem is though, is then tomorrow we got Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's more of like a celebration thing,
Yeah,
though,
that's
right?
happy. That's like honoring those that you've lost.
It's just
Right.
another excuse for us to, take tequila shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear to I'm not making this up. There's a coffee shop we went into today. There's a flyer up for a bar that was doing a Dia de los Muertos party. And it was kids face painting and everything from 3:30 to 5, and then from 7 p.m. on, it was Patron and Modelo special.
Hey, there a wide range of audience there.
That is very true, but I don't think I remember bartenders in Coco the movie.
No.
Although now I'm really going to look at Elsa and Frozen in an all new way. Although it does remind me that I'm glad I don't have kids or anyone that I don't know anyone that has, like Santa aged children, because then that way I don't have to worry about the elf on a shelf, because elf on a shelf creeps me out.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, now I know what to get you.
I've really got to stop being vulnerable with you here. It always backfires. Rebekah Black from Haunted AF Podcast. Thanks so much for hanging out with us inside the Treehouse. Let's not let this go over a year again. We got to have you back in. We appreciate it. Go to hauntedaf.com. That's hauntedaf.com for Haunted AF Podcast. And you can also go to treehouseonair.com. Follow us all on social media. For us, it's at Treehouse on Air. We'll see you tomorrow back here inside the Treehouse.